Welcome back to the Technology Risk Podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something that's, well, pretty much everywhere in the tech news cycle right now.
Oh, yeah. The AI race.
Exactly. This really rapid, competitive push by the big players, OpenAI, Google, Meta, you name it, to get their AI tools out there.
And it's happening so fast, it's raising some serious questions, isn't it? Like, Are they cutting corners on safety, on ethics?
That's the core issue we want to unpack today.
Yeah.
This whole tension between wanting to innovate, wanting to dominate the market, and, making sure society stays safe.
It's a huge balancing act. And a lot of experts are worried. I saw Brookings Institution survey.
Oh, I think I saw that one too. The number is pretty high.
Yeah, staggering. 75% of tech industry experts surveyed said they worry that AI development is just completely outpacing regulations and ethical guidelines.
75%. Wow. That really sets the stage.
It does. Shows a level of concern right inside the industry itself.
Okay, so before we really get into the weeds on this, just a quick reminder, please do subscribe to the Technology Risk Podcast.
Yeah, wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it really helps us out.
Definitely. So let's talk about this speed, this AI arms race, as people are calling it. What's the hidden risk in releasing these tools so quickly?
Well, the obvious thing is that they might just bypass really thorough testing, proper safety checks.
Right.
And that creates these significant risks. Sometimes risks we don't even fully understand until the tool is already out there.
Like with some of the big generative AI tools, maybe? GPT-4 came out pretty fast.
Exactly. GPT-4 is a good example, brought to market quickly, and then, we started seeing unexpected issues, operational hiccups, things people hadn't quite anticipated.
And there's data backing this up, isn't there? I think the AI Now Institute had a stat.
They did. It's quite stark, actually. They found that 60%, 60, of recent AI tools had significant ethical or safety problems within their first year.
60% in year one.
Yeah, and largely because they were rushed out.
So that really points to a problem with how development is happening.
Yeah.
But it connects to another issue, right? The regulations just aren't keeping up.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. Regulatory bodies, governments, they struggle to keep pace. Innovation in AI is just moving at light speed.
Which creates this gap.
Precisely. A gap where the technology exists, it's being used, but the rules haven't caught up. And that leaves companies, consumers, everyone kind of vulnerable.
You see that playing out with things like AI-generated misinformation, right? Spreading like wildfire on social media.
Exactly. It causes real harm, influences opinions, maybe even elections, before regulators can even figure out how to respond effectively.
It feels like they're always playing catch-up.
They are. The World Economic Forum actually estimated that regulatory frameworks typically lag about 2 to 3 years behind the AI innovation cycles.
2 to 3 years. That's a lifetime in tech terms.
It's a huge window of risk exposure, and it raises questions about priorities. Are companies sacrificing long-term safety for these short-term wins, for that market edge?
It seems like some might be. We've seen examples, particularly maybe with social media companies, rolling out AI features fast, maybe without thinking through all the safety angles.
For sure, and then they face the backlash later, reputational damage, regulatory fines. It often catches up with them.
Is there any sense of whether companies know they're taking these risks?
Well, it's hard to say definitively for every company, but MIT Sloan did a survey that's pretty revealing.
Oh, yeah. What did it find?
It found that 68% of executives admitted that competitive pressures influence their willingness to potentially bypass safety standards in AI development.
68% admitted it. Wow.
Yeah. So the pressure is real, and it seems to be directly impacting decisions about safety protocols.
Okay, so this rush, driven by competition, lagging regulation, it creates a risky environment. Let's break down why it puts us, society, at risk, starting with the ethical side.
Right. The ethical and societal harm. When you deploy AI rapidly, without proper ethical oversight, without checking for biases, for instance,
It can just amplify existing problems.
exactly. It can make biases worse, spread misinformation faster, potentially increase societal polarization. We talked about the social media example.
Yeah, where AI might have accelerated the spread of false narratives.
Precisely. And experts are deeply concerned. Pew Research Center found that 70%, 70 of surveyed experts worry a lot about the societal harms from AI that isn't regulated enough.
70%, that's another huge number.
It shows a consensus among those who understand the tech best.
Beyond the societal stuff, what about more direct security risks? Cybersecurity, privacy.
Well, yeah, that's another major area. When you fast-track AI development, sometimes those crucial cybersecurity checks and privacy safeguards get overlooked.
Because the focus is just get it out the door.
Pretty much. Speed becomes the priority. We saw this with some early AI chatbots, remember? They were rushed out, and boom, sensitive user data exposed because of security flaws that were missed.
That's a tangible risk. Is it common?
It seems to be. IBM reported that 55% of companies that deployed rushed AI tools actually experienced cybersecurity incidents within the first year.
More than half.
Yeah, a direct consequence of moving too fast without locking down the basics.
And then there are the operational risks, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about data breaches or ethics. Sometimes the AI just doesn't work as intended.
Exactly. Systems released without enough testing can cause massive operational disruptions. Think about logistics or supply chains.
Okay.
There were cases where companies rapidly deployed AI for inventory management, for instance.
Trying to get more efficient, presumably?
Right. But the systems weren't properly tested, they made widespread errors, and it ended up costing the companies huge amounts of money, significant financial losses.
So the rush to save money or gain efficiency actually backfired financially.
Absolutely. Accenture actually put a figure on it. They estimate companies face average losses of around $4 million per year because of issues stemming from rushed AI deployments.
$4 million on average. That's
Yeah.
not insignificant.
Not at all. It shows that cutting corners on testing and safety upfront can be incredibly expensive down the road.
Okay, so the risks are clear. Ethical, societal, cybersecurity, operational, financial. It's a pretty long list. What can actually be done? How do we find that balance between innovation and safety?
Well, the sources point to a few key strategies. The first one is pretty fundamental. Adopt robust ethical and safety standards internally.
So companies need their own clear rule book for building and deploying AI.
Exactly. Clear frameworks that guide the whole process. Some big tech companies, like Microsoft, have actually been quite public about establishing detailed AI ethics and safety guidelines.
And does that help?
It seems to. EY research suggests that companies with strong ethical AI guidelines actually experience about 40% fewer regulatory and reputational issues.
40% fewer. That's a strong business case right there.
It really is. It shows that doing the right thing ethically can also be good for the bottom line.
Okay, so internal standards are step one. What else?
Collaboration with regulators is crucial. Proactive engagement.
Instead of waiting for the rules to hit them.
Right. Working with regulatory bodies as the technology develops, helping shape responsible frameworks rather than just reacting to them.
Does that happen much?
It's starting to. And the companies that do partner actively with policymakers often find they have smoother market launches. They build more public trust, too.
That makes sense. Trust is huge in AI.
Absolutely. Which ties into the next point. Prioritizing transparency and accountability.
Meaning the AI shouldn't be a complete black box.
Exactly. Systems need to be explainable as much as possible. Their processes should be clear. And crucially, they need regular audits. Independent checks.
Like checking their homework.
Sort of, yeah. And those audits make a real difference. Harvard Business Review found that regular audits of AI systems can cut safety incidents by around 60%.
60% reduction just from regular checks. That's powerful.
It really underscores the value of ongoing oversight.
Okay. Internal standards, regulator collaboration, transparency, audits.
Yeah.
Anything else?
One more big one. Fostering industry-wide collaboration on safety standards.
So not just each company doing its own thing.
Right. Working together across the industry to develop shared benchmarks, best practices, maybe even shared accountability mechanisms.
Are there examples of that working?
Yeah, you see industry coalitions forming, like the Partnership on AI. These groups bring companies together, academics, civil society, to try and improve safety practices collectively.
Raising the bar for everyone.
That's the goal, safer innovation across the board.
Let's make this more concrete. Can we look at a real-world example of maybe a success story? A company that did it right.
Yeah, there's a good example, though sources often don't name names publicly for sensitivity, but think of a major tech company that deliberately chose not to rush.
They held back their AI release.
Exactly. They intentionally delayed it specifically to implement more robust safety measures, to double-check regulatory compliance, really nail down the ethical side.
And what happened when they finally launched?
It was a much smoother launch, strong market acceptance, fewer reported issues, and crucially, they maintained and even built public trust.
So the lesson there is,
That investing that time upfront in safety and responsibility isn't a cost center. It's actually an investment that creates a sustainable competitive advantage. Patience paid off.
okay, now the flip side, an example of a rushed launch that went wrong.
Again, without naming specific platforms, think about a prominent social media company that jumped on the generative AI bandwagon very quickly. Maybe pushed out features without fully vetting the safety
I
aspect.
picture that scenario.
The outcome was pretty predictable, unfortunately. Severe regulatory backlash, intense public criticism, stories everywhere about the flaws or biases.
Leading to significant reputational damage.
Huge damage. And it really hammers home the lesson. Those short-term gains you might get from being first, they rarely, if ever, justify the long-term risks, the safety failures, the ethical breaches, the hit to your reputation.
The cleanup costs more than the head start was worth.
Often, yes, far more.
So looking ahead now, how do we prepare for a future where AI is even more integrated? How do we ensure responsible deployment becomes the norm?
Well, building on what we discussed, strengthening that regulatory collaboration is key. It needs to be continuous, adaptive. Regulators and industry working together proactively to keep frameworks relevant as the tech evolves.
Not just a one-off consultation.
No, an ongoing dialogue. And internally, companies really need to embed AI safety deep into their corporate culture.
Making it part of the company's DNA, not just a checklist item.
Exactly. Ethics, safety, responsibility, it needs to be central to the mission, to strategic planning, to how engineers are trained, everything.
Which brings us to training.
Yes, continuous training and education are absolutely vital. The landscape changes so fast. Teams need to constantly learn about the evolving risks, the new regulations, the latest ethical best practices. Keeping everyone informed is critical.
So it's a combination of external collaboration, internal culture shifts, and ongoing education.
That seems to be the path forward for responsible AI.
Okay, we've covered a huge amount today. We look at how this intense race for AI dominance is creating significant risks across the board, really.
Yeah.
Ethical, regulatory, operational.
Societal risks, too. But we also looked at the strategies to manage those risks. It's not all doom and gloom. There are pathways forward.
And the key takeaway, it seems, especially for you listening, is that the companies that really prioritize these responsible practices, the ones that are proactive about safety,
Those are the ones building sustainable success, building trust. It's not just about the tech, it's how you develop and deploy it.
So our encouragement to you is, if you're involved in AI deployment, take a hard look at your strategies. Make sure they align with regulatory expectations with ethical standards.
And always, always keep safety and accountability front and center.
Because remember, winning the AI race isn't just about being the fastest.
No, it's about responsibly building technologies that actually serve society well, safely, ethically, and sustainably. That's the real win.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on the Technology Risk Podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
And please, if you found this useful, subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts to stay informed on these critical topics. We'll see you next time.